Afternoon. Am I audible to you guys? ল্যাব ক্লাছলে ষ্টুডেণ্ট কমি কমিহে যায় যে Okay, good. I'm audible. So why is it like for theory class we have almost like 25 students, then by evening we have like less than 20 or just 20? Okay, let's just do a simple student ভাত খাব যায় আচ্ছা কলেজত থাকিলে কি কৰা অফলাইন আগতে লাঞ্চ কৰা ন এনেতো ইংলিছৰ চাগে ক্লাছ হোৱা নাই anyways so let's see a simple program for pointer so this is just simple one how we use pointer so let's run it first. You see, first we have initialized one pointer, name is PC, and another variable, normal variable is C. So first I initialize that value of C is 22. Okay. So now I want to print the address of C. So if you want to access the address, always we use ampersand sign. I guess this part is always clear to you. And if you want to print the value of the variable, you can directly write the name of the variable. Correct? So here address of C is given like this. Okay. Now for the pointer PC, I have just stored the address of C here. Okay. So now if you want to print the address of the pointer PC, PC is the pointer variable, then it is giving you this address. Okay. Now if you want to access the value of the pointer, then you have to use the this asterisk symbol, right? Pointer PC. Then only you will get the value which is 22 because pointer PC is just pointing to the variable C. Okay. Now I have initialized another variable, another value for C which is 11. Okay. So here again I'm doing the same thing. Now I want to write the address of the pointer PC and content of the PC. So in both cases, means value is 11 because I have changed the value of C here. Initially it was 22. Now I made it 11. So I can get the value of PC with this one. Okay, this part simple. Then now I again change the value of C variable using this statement. Okay, pointer PC equal to 2. Okay, that means I am changing the value of C. PC is nothing but it contains the address of C. Now to access the value, we use the asterisk symbol. So now I'm initializing PC or storing the value 2 here. Now if you want to check the value of C, it will come as 2. Okay, so in both ways you can change the value of a variable. Okay, so to normally access the pointer variable, this is the case. You just use pointer PC to access the value. Then if you want to change the value, then you can either use the pointer to access it, or you can also change the value with the help of the pointer. Okay, This is the simplest one, how pointer works. Okay. Now let's see a very simple program for the array. Okay. So here I'm just taking an array with 5 numbers inside here. Then I have also initialized pointer variable. Okay. Then I stored the third element into the pointer. Okay. Address of the third element of the pointer. Third means 0, 1, 2. That means 3. I'm storing the value of 3 into the pointer. So if you run this, so value of pointer is your 3. Then value of pointer plus 1, that means 2 plus 1 is just the index, so it is 4. Okay, then pointer minus 1 will be 2. So you have stored the value of 3 into the pointer variable. Okay, now pointer plus 1 will give you plus 1, that means 4, and minus 1 will give you the 2, just the index. That's the simplest example you can get how we can use pointer for array. Ma'am, %p is used for defining address of the pointer where I won't use any p here. For the previous one, I guess you are asking. Yes. To access the address. Yeah. To access the address, I use pointer %p. Yeah. Now let's see for the function. In the class, I did different example because I already showed that part. So here I'm just taking different examples. Okay. So suppose this is the program for passing pointer to a function. So here what I'm doing, I'm just taking the current salary of a employee, then increasing, calculating the increase in the salary with the help of the bonus. So this is another very simple one. So here I'm asking the current salary, maybe 30,000. Then bonus, let's say 5,000. So final salary is 35,000. Okay. So what's happening here is the very simple one. For the hike, it's just that whatever will be the salary plus the bonus. Okay. Salary plus the bonus. So here I have defined the function salary hike. So one point argument is one pointer variable and one is just normal variable. Okay, that means you can use both. You can either take the arguments both pointers. You can take one pointer, one normal variable. It's fine. Okay, so here what it is doing, so this variable is taking, this one is for the bonus and variable is for the salary. So whatever will be the salary, it will be salary plus p. The pointer symbol is here because you are accessing the value. Okay, that's why variable equal to variable plus b. So inside the main function, I've taken salary 0, initialize as 0, and bonus is also 0. Okay, so then I entered the salary, then stored here, then here I call the function. Okay, so here since one of my variable is pointer variable, so inside when you call the function, the salary you have to call with the help of address. Okay, so this is an example of pointer passing as a reference or address. Okay, ampersand salary, then bonus is just normal variable, so it's just bonus. Okay, then after calling it will give you the addition, then final salary will be printed here. This one you can say passing pointer into a function called by reference. It's an example of both actually. One is just the normal variable. If you take this one as a pointer too, then you can access as both pointer maybe. Okay. So you are allowed to experiment with your codes anyways. Okay. When you will do experiment, you will get error, then you will learn the things. Okay, if you simply just copy paste the program and that's it, if I give you the program, that's not how we are going to learn. You have to experiment with your program. Maybe you just try something else, you are getting error, it's fine to get the error, then just that you have to know what is that error. So whenever you get the error, something is written here, right? So you have to track down how to solve an error. What's the problem? Okay, that's a tip for you guys. You are allowed to just experiment with your code anyways. The more you experiment, the more you will get knowledge. Because some things are so small, it's not possible to cover all the things in your lab classes or all, because some things are up to you how you acquire that knowledge. So you can do that only by experimenting with your program. We did another program in theory class which was swapping the value. Okay, so if you swap the value, it's same. Here, see both arguments are pointer term. In previous one was pointer, one was just normal variable. So here both are pointers. Okay, so I just access with the values here before swapping value, calling the function with the help of reference. See, both are pointer value, therefore I'm calling it with the address. Okay, we then another saw we function pointer. This swap function you have also done in previous programs. I gave maybe it was for one of the sorting algorithm. So we use that. So this is for function pointer. I just showed in the class. So here you just define it in pointer, then two normal functions. Okay, this is the function pointer. Okay, name of the function, then you just keep it, assign your sum, means calling the sum using this function pointer, and here is just a normal one. So if you run this program, okay, here you are getting a warning, but anyways you are getting the values. Okay, this one is like this. Okay, so see the warning. What is warning say? So what's the warning here? Anyone decode it? Why I am getting an error or warning? Anyone? Just evaluate the warning and tell me. Impractical declaration of function. Can you elaborate? Just explain a bit more. It's written without the prototype. But for this case, no prototype is required because I defined the function before in main function. We define the prototype only when we write the or define the function after the in main function. Define after with ink 1. Line 21. Line 21, this one. F2P define after calling the function. We didn't define F2P after calling the function. We defined earlier. Let's see if I give include See, it's simple. I didn't included the header file. That's why it's showing printf is not correct. We are using the printf function without declaring or using the stdio.h. Are we getting any error now? It was so simple. I didn't included the header file. That's why you are getting error. Remove it again. See the error. What is it saying? Implicitly declaring library function printf with type in. Okay. But see the first thing, implicitly declaring library function. Printf is a library function, but you didn't insert it or use the library function. stdio.h is the, see here even it's written, include the header stdio dot or explicitly provide a declaration for printf. See, it's clearly written, include header file. So now you know how to read the warning or how to read error. Is it clear? Yeah, so you have to be very careful to read your warnings or the error messages. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Complex way. So didn't even notice. Yeah, that's the problem. If you go for think too complicatedly, it will be complicated. Just see the basic things first. If those things are correct, then you go deeper. What can be the possible problem? So even warning, it's clearly written, include header file. Okay, so when you will start see or learning how to track your error, then only you can actually learn any programming language. It is applicable to any programming, C, C++, Java, Python, anything. You have to know how to read your error message. If you don't understand, you can just copy paste the same problem in your Google. You just copy paste your warning or the error code in your Google. Then you will get some solutions, right? You will get some answers in the Stack Overflow. Then you see. So I would say the more you make mistakes, the more you will have curiosity to learn what is the mistake. Okay, so all the solutions or hints will be in your error message or your warning message. Just know how to track it. It's a good tip. You can use it anywhere. Okay, so now we will see for the structure. So here I am just defining a structure variable, which is person, and there are two members, age and weight. Okay, so then I define a structure pointer, which is person pointer. So this is a structure pointer and person is just normal variable. Then I store the address of this variable into your structure pointer. Okay. Then just normal. Okay. In case of structure, just remember to access the values or access the members, you have to use this symbol, this implication symbol. Okay. This particular symbol is used when you need to access members from the structure. Okay. This is specially for your structure pointers. Okay. So just remember this special symbol. Okay. So need to enter the age, maybe 20, weight 55, then it's just displaying. Okay, it's just a very normal structure pointer. Just remember to access the member of structure using pointer, you have to use this particular symbol. Okay, this one. So using the structure, you can store either the like one record, two record, or more than three, more than five, or more than that record. But have you noticed, have you ever means define any size of structure like for array or mainly for array, which is a data structure, we define the size, right? Using the variable, we can store just one variable, one value. Using the array, we can store many values. Okay. It does not have any limit. How much values, how many values you can store in an array, there is no limit for it. Okay. But in sometimes it will also depend on your compiler, but theoretically, there is no limit how many values you can store in an array. Okay. So but in case of array, we have a disadvantage that we can only store same type of data. We can either just store values integer type, we can store values floating character, any. Okay, so whatever values you store inside an array, it should be or it will be all of the same type. Okay, so structure and union is the only data structure that will allow you to store values of different data type. Correct? So using structure also means we normally, if you want to keep any record of employee or students, we mainly use structure. Okay. Since using one structure, you can keep record for one person, maybe just employee one, maybe his name is Jane or something. Then you can keep the values like age, weight, and just for one person. Okay. Then if you want to store more values, suppose two, then you have to define two variables, maybe P1, person one and person two. Then again for person three. For all three, you have to define it. Okay. Now, remember I told you we have the um, means we can use dynamic memory allocation. So using the dynamic memory allocation, you can just add more memories during your runtime. Okay. Like for the structure, we mainly use dynamic memory allocation to store lots of records. Okay, that means you can keep like maybe 5 records, employee of five employee names or 5 student name or more than 5, 10 with the help of dynamic memory. So here I use just single one. So for the next lab, I'll give you a task. Okay, I won't say the task yet, but I have a plan. Okay. So that's it for the normal pointer programs, pointer with array, pointer as a function. Then again for function, we check the pointer passing as a address, passing as a value. Then also saw the function pointer and also the structure pointer. There's another thing I told you, it's a pointer to pointer. So if it is a pointer to pointer, then it will be a double star. Okay, we'll learn about the pointer to pointer in next class. And there are also different types of pointers like null pointer, dangling pointer, and lot. Okay, so you can see pointer we can use like everywhere. Okay, you can use in array, function, structure. So it's a very important thing, means it has its advantages. So can anyone tell me what could be the possible disadvantage of using pointer? Advantage you guys already know. You can, it's just like multi-purpose thing. You can directly access to memory because it is also used for dynamic memory allocation. Then it can return more than one values for function. It provides you less storage space, means reduces the space complexity. It also reduces the execution time. What can be the possible drawbacks for pointers? At least one disadvantage. I'm asking memory. Okay, yes, memory leak is one of the disadvantage. Another, slower than normal. Yes, slower than normal because pointer only holds the address. That means if you are using a pointer, uh, it is accessing the address first, then it is getting to the values and all. That is also correct. Another thing is sometimes due to pointers, your program, if you find any error, then it becomes really difficult to diagnose. Okay, maybe you wrote it wrongly or it is accessed differently. So sometimes due to the pointers, such an error occurs in your program, which might be very difficult to diagnose. And as I said, it is also used for dynamic memory allocation. So during the runtime, if sufficient memory is not available for the storage of your pointers, the program may crash. Okay, so you have to be very careful and need to find a consistent way to use the pointers. Otherwise, your program might crash. Okay, so this meeting is going to end soon. I'll take the attendance. Switch on the videos. Switch on your videos. Amandeep, Dilbar, Minal, Pranjal. Okay. So I can assume some of you are having network problems, some of you are not close to your laptop or mobile, anything. Okay, thank you guys. See you in next class.